Hi Yogi, welcome to Yoga with Alina, and today we have another tutorial. We're going to talk about stepping through. That's something that a lot of my students are struggling with, and it does take a lot of core work, I'm not going to lie, but it also has some tricks behind it that I want to share with you in this tutorial so that hopefully you will be able to step through, if not today, very soon in your practice. And as always, this is the practicing part for sure, so let's get on the mat and try it and see for ourselves. All right, so I'm back on the mat with Te, and we have some more friends with us. These are my blocks, my amazing, amazing friends. And if you've practiced with me before, you know that I'm absolutely crazy about blocks, and in this tutorial, you'll understand why. All right, let's just get straight to it. Let's step through. I'm going to ask you to step through, and you're going to do it with a leg that is closer to the camera so that we can kind of dissect the whole thing. But first, just do it quickly as you normally would have done it in a yoga class. Nothing crazy. Just lift that left leg up. Good. And step through. Perfect. And yeah, you can just relax here. Go back to downward facing dog. Go back to downward face. Okay, so this is what stepping through means. And ideally, your leg steps right between the hands, just as like just did, literally. But how do we actually do it? There are a few components to that. The first one, and I think that's a very common understanding, that you do need a lot of core strength for stepping through. So let's lift the left leg up. And then as you exhale, squeeze the knee to your nose. When I teach this, I always say it, squeeze the knee to your nose and actually stop here, because this is something that creates that core strength. You're squeezing your thigh as close to your body as possible, and that's probably a lot, right? You're feeling it in your core. I'm torturing you. That's good? Oh, okay, good, perfect. So you want to lift the leg as high up as possible so that you're physically able, hold it there, and just yep, don't step, don't step, don't step. So that you're physically able to literally open up that knee and eventually step through. Good. Step through. There you go. Perfect. So the higher up you go, the easier it will be. Just relax, just sit back, yeah, child's pose or something. Good. So the higher you lift your leg up, the more you push through your core, the easier it will be for you to step through. So obviously, if that's something that you're looking for, you really want to work on your core strength, and you really don't want to jump through all these poses, and I really encourage you to stop at every step. And whenever a teacher is cueing to step through, you want to fixate on that point where you touch your knee to your nose, where you push the thigh towards your chest, and you're really squeezing everything in. This is going to be your first thing that you need to do to prepare to step through. But with all that said, there's also a trick that comes right after that. Let's do it again. And you're also going to stop with the knee touching your nose, and just like we did before. Good. Hold it there. So because you really need to lift yourself as high as possible, when you're stepping through, your hand, the same as your leg, the heel of your hand, is actually going to lift. Go for it. Very slowly. Yep, good. So once again, let's do it again. And when you were doing it quickly, you did it. When you did it right now, you didn't do it because you were thinking about it. So what happens when we're stepping through, for now, this is going to be his left hand. The heel of the palm is going to lift. Go for it. I'm not even going to cue it. Just don't think about it. There you go. That's it. Stop right there. That's what happens, right? And that's something that helps us, and that's something that I do without even thinking. That's something that probably you do without thinking, and you probably never noticed it before I just called it out. But this is a little trick that we're doing to step through and make it seem kind of effortless-ish, right? So what you want to do, the trick is to lift yourself as high off the ground as possible. And first thing that you're using for that is your core. The second thing that you can help yourself with is that corresponding arm to the leg that you're stepping through. Now, here's to the blocks. All right, just go back into your downward facing dog, and I'm going to give you blocks to put underneath your hands. If you watched my tutorial about blocks, you know what blocks are for. There are two ways and two reasons we would use the blocks. And one of them is to bring the floor a little bit closer to us in the poses that are meant to create a deeper stretch or something along those lines. Now for this particular pose, what we want to do is to lift ourselves higher away from the floor. So we actually want to lift ourselves a little bit higher. And blocks are going to be absolutely amazing for us. So let's do it again. Lift the left leg up. Good. Squeeze the knee to your nose. You'll already see how much higher off the ground he is. And you don't even have to lift any heels of the palms or anything like this. You can just slowly, well, not straighten, but unbend the leg and step it through. Yep, exactly. So with your blocks, you're actually able to teach your body, right, how to move through these movements, Did not sound good, but you get the idea. Good, get yourself out of this crazy thing. All right, how do you feel? You're like, are you still breathing? I mean, that was a lot of core, but yes. So hopefully now you understand little tricks behind this stepping through, and you will be able to practice it with a little bit more intention. One last word that I want to say is that please do not rush. What I see in a lot of my students is that they're trying to get to the destination, right? We're chasing that goal. We just want to step through it. We just want to throw the leg and that's it. No, it doesn't happen that way. You need to put in the work and try to find those little parts to work on before you go through the whole movement. One of them is obviously holding the knee up with the core. The other one is lifting the heel of the palm, and just take it in small steps. That's how you will be able to progress in this practice a little bit more, and probably you will progress much faster that way as well. Thank you so much for staying with me for this tutorial, Yogi. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you back in the next video. Namaste.